All right, guys, welcome back to the Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast, episode 258, here with Guy. We're actually at somewhere incredibly prestigious. In fact, I probably should take my hat off. In somewhere incredibly prestigious, and actually we're very, 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 very close to the epicenter of golf.
We are indeed.
We're actually at Prestwick Golf Club doing our podcast today, which is the home of the first ever Open for all our wonderful listeners and viewers. And I've just filmed 2 really cool videos, one for our channel, which will be coming soon, and then one for a TV show. TV world's different though, isn't it?
It is different. I think you're different in here. I think you're a lot more relaxed, but like in a professional way, rather than being in now. I can't imagine us saying the same things in here that we'd say at the studio back at home.
You know what it is? I always find whenever I've been speaking a lot before the podcast, I can wax lyrically, so easily.
Spit bars.
Where if we come out cold out the blocks, sometimes I'm like, we're in the studio and I've not really spoke to that many people. I'm like, how do I speak again? Anyway, that's on that note. So yeah, I had Bones, the caddy, famously caddying for Phil Mickelson for 25 years. In his career, he's been present on 6 major wins.
It's crazy.
5 for Phil Mickelson, 5 of his 6, and then 1 with Justin Thomas.
I bet he's earned a few quid.
Yeah, just a bit.
But what's the thing? Is it like 10% or something they get normally?
From what I heard, they do a 10-7-5 rule.
Right.
10% of a win.
Yeah.
7% top 10, 5% overall.
Okay.
But you get paid regardless of whether you make the cut. So at the end of the day, the caddy's got to make money. You know, because I was even chatting to Bones before. The caddy books all their own travel, pays for all their own travel, rental and everything. So they've got to cover those costs minimum.
It's a bit like we've said before when you think about like tour pros and the difference between a Rory McIlroy and a guy that's struggling on the PGA Tour or DP World Tour to keep the card. It's like that with caddies. If you're a caddy like Bones of major winners, I imagine you're making a very nice lifestyle. But if you're a caddy for a guy that's struggling on tour and they're not really paying the way, how do people do it?
I know. We were going to get Bones on the podcast, but unfortunately he's had to shoot off for other commitments, and I feel like we've chewed his ear off all morning as well. So the videos are going to be really good. And from caddying from tour pros to caddying for me. But actually, I played all right today. I did quite well.
You know what I thought today, hearing you with someone who absolutely knows what they're doing? It's almost that kind of reassurance of it. It makes golf simpler in a sense of they tell you the distance, what it's going to do, what the lie's going to do, what the wind's doing. Once they're giving you all that information, though it sounds like a lot, it all accumulates in then saying what club you're hitting. And once that's been given to you, it's an 8 or it's a 9. Just hit it.
I'm actually going to see if he's available for regional qualifying next year. Fly him over to Caldy and get him on the bag for regional qualifying.
Do you reckon that would be quite like a fall from grace that you've been caddying for?
Oh, massive fall from grace.
Augusta winning the green jacket.
But I feel like he's got, has he ever taken, let's be honest, 4 or 5 handicapper PJ Pro through regional qualifying, final qualifying,
no,
and into the Open?
No,
so who knows? Anyway, talking about the Open, obviously this is why we're up in Scotland this week.
It's Open week.
It is Open week, and at the moment, I still don't feel like what you've just like that. It's Open week. I don't feel that yet, and I don't know why. I was at the Open yesterday. I was at Royal Troon yesterday. I got up close and personal on the driving range with a lot of different players, and it's Open week. The grandstands are up. It's Royal Troon. Like, it is Open week. It just doesn't feel like Open week.
Personally, obviously, we've said before, the 2 majors for us are the Open and the Masters. They're the top 2. And like we've had preferences. Sometimes, obviously, in April, you're thinking the Masters is the best major. Come July, you start to think, no, the Open's the best major. I'm having a little bit of a hangover from the 150th.
The Euros.
No, forget, I'm not like football anymore. From the 150th at the Old Course, because I was thinking this, why so much? It's because the 149th at Royal St George's was the first Open post-lockdown. And it was, if you remember, it was a smaller crowd. You had to show all that pass when you went in that you didn't have COVID, all that stuff. So then when the 150th came, it was the first full capacity for an obviously number of years. And it was the 150th at the Old Course, this iconic golf course, the iconic town. It was everything. You had a good winner in Cameron Smith. Last year, the 151st was at Royal Liverpool, which for us is a very close to home Open. So I stayed at home for the week and travelled in, and that was very exciting. This week, although I am excited for the Open, of course I am, and I'm so lucky and so privileged to be here, there's something that I'm just not quite feeling yet, and I don't quite know what that is. But maybe to your point, it doesn't quite. Maybe it's not been on site just yet. I don't know.
But what's weird, it's not the fact of. Listen, there's so many players that are playing great golf right now.
There is.
Like some of yesteryear, like Sergio won Live this weekend. Adam Scott nearly won the Scottish Open. Like guys I actually film with, which is great to see. Like then you've got all the new talent. You've got like Ludwig Oberg, who really he'll be kicking himself that he didn't win the Scottish Open this weekend or weekend just been. Then you've got like Bryson, who's been playing incredible. He was hitting balls till he was the last person on driving range yesterday, still smashing balls until his hands were bleeding. You've then got Rory McIlroy's storyline from after messing up and not winning the US Open. And then you've still got Scotty Scheffler storyline.
The world number one.
You've got lots of people talking about Xander Schauffele. You've got
Morikawa.
Nice. Can Brian Harman do a back-to-back? I see it unlikely, but can he? Then you start to twist. Well, actually, what about the love affairs that we have, like Tommy Fleetwood and like even like Shane Lowry or Justin Rose, who obviously filmed with recently,
who went through a qualifying, we must add, and got through.
So it's not the players. And it's not the venue. I think the venue's fantastic. You've got the postage stamp. Obviously, our video went out yesterday playing Royal Troon, which again I played really nicely on that day.
You did very well.
I
didn't play well.
Didn't. And then, so it's not even that. I feel like there's something missing. I think this summer has been a very intense summer for sport as well. Obviously, I know the Euros have just taken place, and for all our international viewers, if you weren't aware, England got to the final against Spain and unfortunately lost. And I don't know.
I agree with you completely, but kind of going against what I've just said, and yes, I'm not as excited for this Open as I have been for others, but having said that, still, to your point, it is only Tuesday. Once we get, obviously, through today, through the final practice day, and then Thursday, Friday, and we start to see that leaderboard come into life, and whoever it might be, if there's a Tommy Fleetwood up there, or Scotty Scheffler's up there, and this kind of narrative starts to get built, whether it be Tommy getting his first major, or Scotty Scheffler kind of even more so asserting his dominance. I think that's really when you get excited. I think the only one that's different, I think, is the Masters. I think you just get excited all week for the Masters. There's something about it that's quite magical, because you're seeing Augusta again for the first time in 12 months. But I think you're right. I think hopefully, though, by Thursday, Friday, we'll be really into it.
Yeah, I think there's loads of storylines that could take place and loads of twists and turns. And I think the golf course, the varying on the weather can be really, really brutal in parts. I think if the weather's kind, I think they'll rip it up. I really do. Because it's been super, super wet here in the UK. So everywhere's green. Like I say, we've just been out here at Prestwick and I'm looking out the window now and the fairways are greens. The fairways are greens. The fairway are green. The greens are green. How many times did I say green then? What I'm trying to say is everything's green. It's not like burnt out. It's not going to be a really fast, hard Open, is it? I don't know. I don't know what I need to... Maybe, and I hate to say this, I've been very lucky now to bid to a lot of Open Championships. Is that kind of excitement for me personally kind of dwindled off a little bit because I've been to so many Opens?
Possibly, but again, we were saying today, some of the guys off camera, some of the team who are coming along tomorrow to the Open, that going to the Open or any golf event, I must say, is brilliant. And certainly the first time you go or the first number of times where you're seeing these guys in the flesh, and right now we're still so lucky that Tiger Woods at the event and you can go and see him for the first time. It's such a surreal feeling. You see the tour vans and you see obviously the crowds and you go into the store and everything about it, the buzz, the energy. It's brilliant. But unlike football or cricket or rugby or NFL or whatever, watching the golf at the golf is nowhere near as good as a spectator as it is obviously on the TV. It's just not. You just can't, even if you follow Rory around, you then don't know what's happening with the other groups, etc. So from a fan's point of view, I think the best part of going is that environment. But to your point, when you've been year after year after year, as great as it is still to go, you don't have that same excitement. And I guess that's like anything, whether it be Glastonbury Festival. If you've been every single year to Glastonbury, I'm sure it wears off a little bit.
I've worked on my schedule this week so that Saturday, Sunday, I'm in front of a TV watching it as much as I possibly can. I got hardly any commitments on those days because I genuinely want to just glue myself to a screen and just watch and enjoy it as a major tournament, really. But what is mad, and I was just thinking about it then, this is where it began. Like on these very grounds here at Prestwick, where it was old Tom Morris who decided to get a few good players together, and they had an open tournament, and it's gone from that to the circus now that the Open is.
Yeah.
Like this huge. I can't remember the numbers of spectators there this week, but even yesterday when I went the Monday, it was busy.
Isn't it a couple 100,000 altogether? Something in that region.
For some reason, I've got 270,000 in my head
for
the week. And then that's just spectators, and then you've got the infrastructure, you've got the clubhouse, the driving range, the players' clubhouse, you've got the gym, the physio suites, all the agents going around. I mean, it's a huge operation.
And this is why we've obviously had some amazing professional golfers on this podcast, and a lot of them said the same thing. And part of me believes them, part of me doesn't. And they often say that they treat a major week the same as any other week on the PGA Tour or the DP World Tour, because obviously if you put too much pressure on yourself and have these expectations, then it doesn't always pay dividends and it can make you play worse. Surely the guys can't be coming this week and treating it like every other week. It is so different. And
even if you did come here treating it the same week, as soon as you get on the property, you'd be like, well, this is different.
It's just bigger, isn't it?
It's bigger, better. I think the Open do a great job of, creating such a great atmosphere as well. I think with the grandstands being up certainly on the side of 18, left to right of 18, a little quaint clubhouse at the end. You see that iconic kind of yellow leaderboard and the blue seats, and it's like, wow, it just looks visually so appealing. I've got a few picks this week that I think is going to do well. I'd love to hear yours as well. Should we go one each?
Okay.
Should we go and start?
Yes.
I'm going to go someone who's certainly not an outsider. And I'm not somebody who normally picks this player. And not for the fact I don't want him to win. I just don't normally pick him very often. I think Rory McIlroy.
Wow.
Is going to have the greatest comeback.
I'd like to see it.
After his defeat at the US Open in dramatic style, he's had a few weeks off. He played in the Scottish Open, played all right. I think he got a top 10 finish. If you remember correctly, when he had that kind of disaster at the Masters all those years ago, he came back, I think it was the very next major, and won it. I feel like his back's up against the wall and he's got something to prove. And I really feel like he's going to come out this week and win. I really do.
I'd love to see it. And this is the thing, that if he doesn't win, which obviously there's a lot of pressure, if he doesn't win, it will be 10 years since his last major win, obviously, which was the Open at 2014. Do you think, though, for Rory to win a major now, do you think to get that first one kind of back, if you like, that he has to be a few ahead going down the stretch? If he is one ahead, or if he's even with somebody, do you think it's a good repeat of maybe the US Open? Or
I could envision him being 5 ahead going into the final round.
I think he might need that.
And I think he needs to be 5 ahead, or he needs to be 5 back, personally, and for things to go his way.
Yeah.
Because anytime he's there or thereabouts, he doesn't seem to. Major's history at the moment doesn't seem to get the job done. Where I think if he's 5 back or 5 ahead, I think he wins it.
Yeah.
And it sounds laugh saying 5 back, but I think that's
having
the mentality
that,
is going into it with aggressive play. I think 5-shot lead should be plenty enough to be able to get the job done. I see him doing it.
The problem is with major championship golf, and certainly the Open, it's so hard to pick who's going to win. Obviously, you look down the list of names that are entering, there's so many who you think, I could easily see them winning. I do have this feeling at Morikawa, though. He's kind of been on form, and again, Ludwig as well. He's not been closing out the events quite as well as he could. But I feel like he will win something big soon.
This is his first
Open.
Yeah,
he's played 4 majors. Well, he's played 3 so far, so it'll be his first Open championship, which on paper you'd say, well, you're not really going to win your first. Morikawa won his first Open in 2021. There's no reason why that can't be done again. Henrik Stenson, fellow Swede, won here in 2016. So there's lots of little things that you think maybe it could be Ludwig's time.
So you're going with Ludwig?
I am, yeah.
I think it's going to be a European winner.
I'd love it.
And I feel like it's actually going to be more like a home nation winner as well. So my next pick is Tyrrell Hatton.
Wow.
I know. And again, he's hitting form. Tyrrell's not someone I normally pick. It really isn't. But I'm not great at picking guesses normally. But I'm going to go with a few different options this time. The reason why I don't normally root or pick Tyrrell is I can't. In links golf, you've got to be patient.
Yep.
And bad shots will happen. And bad bounces
Bad lies,
will happen.
yeah,
and bad
correct.
lies will happen. And you'll get the wrong side of the draw. And the weather will happen. Do you get what I
You
mean?
have to be patient, don't you?
Tyrrell's not that emotionally. When you look at him, you think he can't be patient. But also, he does bloody good in opens. And he does good in a lot of events. So I think his demeanour and his attitude has changed my mind. But actually, I think underneath the cover, he's been playing really well. He won a couple of months ago on Live, and he's been playing really solid. I'm going to go with Tyrrell Hatton.
My second pick then, if we're having two, and again, not a huge outsider at all, but I'm going to go Bryson. I think obviously we played it the other day. There's a few longer holes out there. Is it the par 5? What is it, the 5th or something? That was 600 odd yards. It's
633.
It's the longest par 5 on the Open rotor, I think. I don't know. I just think I can just see him, and I can't imagine the rough. The rough was bad when we played it, but with the spectators and trampling it down, I think there'll be a bit of room for error. I don't know. I just feel like I can see Bryson again. He's just hitting it so well, so long, so powerful.
So there are educated picks.
Yeah.
I want now one with your heart.
Oh wow. Okay.
Who would you love to see lift that claret jug on Sunday?
Let's say we can't say Tiger because that's just too obvious.
Okay, so let's get on to the next section of this podcast.
No, you can't.
No, I know. Mine's not Tiger, to be honest.
Well, the obvious one, isn't it? Fleetwood, Tommy. I think we've said this before. There's certain golfers who've had careers who haven't won a major, and frustratingly, that's almost how they get defined, and it's wrong. You know, look at Monty, look at Lee Westwood. The first thing you often think of, maybe it's a bad thing, but is that the fact he didn't win a major, but yet they were so dominant and so good. I do not want, under any circumstances, that to be what happens to Tommy Fleetwood, that we look back in 10, 15, 20 years' time, however long, and Tommy to be one of those guys that falls into that category. He has to win a major. I want him to win a major. And there'd be no more fitting major than the Open. The only caveat to that would be for him to win at Birkdale, which is like his hometown, etc. That would be the absolute cherry on top.
He's back at Birkdale in 2 years.
So there you go. If it's not today, not this week, maybe it's not in 2 years. But I think I'd just love Tommy to win a major and the Open with that one.
He had a chance in 2019 when Shane Lowry ended up winning.
He was doing well at Liverpool as well, wasn't he?
Doing well at Liverpool. His game suits links. So for me, Tommy's definitely up there. But then I've got quite a lot of on the same ilk as Tommy in this idea that they can't ever. I don't see him envisioning finishing their careers without a major, without an Open. It's going to be tough for him. But I really want to see Sergio, Justin Rose, or Adam Scott win this week. And now they're all guys I film with, granted.
They've all got majors as well. They've all won a major.
They've all won majors. They've all won them. Who did I say? Oh no! What did US Open?
Yeah, Justin Rose won.
Justin Rose won. They've all got majors to their names, but I think for those guys like Sergio, when I did the podcast with him last year, he really, really passionate about the Open. Like the Open's the one for him. Sergio's playing, isn't he?
Yes. No, is he not? He didn't qualify. He went to qualifying.
He's going to find it really hard to.
Maybe he's not going to win.
He's going to find it really hard to win, then, isn't he?
He is. He wouldn't live though, so every cloud.
Oh yeah, Sergio is going to find that hard to win if he's playing. Of course, he played at final qualifying with John Beasley.
Yeah,
I just thought then.
You know what I was getting confused off stupidly, and don't know why, that because he won live, he got in.
I was just thinking because bloody Spain are winning everything at the moment. All right, so Justin Rose, I've got 3 trips. It makes my picks a little bit easier. Justin Rose, Adam Scott, or
Jack Nicklaus. If we're doing that,
or Tommy Fleetwood.
Gary Player. Okay, well, let's just go Tommy. Let's just go with Tommy Fleetwood.
One pick, Tommy Fleetwood. Okay, so educated picks. I've gone with Rory and Tyrrell, and then I do want Tommy, but I'm going to go Justin Rose.
Okay,
and then you're going to go with
Colin Morikawa, Bryson DeChambeau, Thomas Fleetwood. If Tommy does win now, you can't say well done to him because he's my pick. You're not even allowed to message him or speak to him or messages.
Like after party.
No, you can't because you've not had your heart on him. I'm going for Tommy Fleetwood right now.
I've literally got a tattoo on my bum. I love TF.
Doesn't that stand for
Tony Fino?
Very good.
Or Tommy Fleetwood. Yeah, so it's going to be good.
Are we doing more podcasts this week? I've heard rumours. The podcast rumours are floating around Troon, and they've actually come over to Prestwick a little bit. They've come down the coast. That there might be, hopefully, fingers crossed, and touch some wood. Wouldn't be the first time. That's a joke. No, can't go in. It can, but just leave it in. But it can't go in. It can't go in. It can't go in. I don't know. I've lost train of thought now.
podcasts.
Yes, I might do some more podcasts.
Hopefully, it's always challenging to create content around the Open week, but now we've got nimble microphone. Like this is all we need. I'm going to take this into the Open.
Is it too nimble?
Arguably
too nimble.
It is thin.
Why does it always go down this route?
Oh gosh.
Put some lead tape on it.
A little bit of lead tape. That would be quite cool.
Got one of the tour trucks. Excuse me.
Extra layer of tape underneath it.
It'd be actually good
That's not far.
Why don't we grip them?
That would be sick.
Why don't we grip these?
That would be really cool.
What did you just do then with your hand and mouth?
Oh my god. What is
God,
going
we've
on?
all been away from home for too long. So yeah, I think this week mobile podcast. We'll try and film a few, record a few if we can. I don't think that many will be filmed. Unfortunately, it'll just be audio only.
Audio special.
This week I've got commitments with the R&A, Mercedes-Benz, and also Mastercard. So I'm doing some interviews. I was live on the range yesterday. That was quite cool.
Yeah, it was good. I watched it well.
That was quite cool. Got Phil Kenyon on and Claude Hardman. Tried to pull some strings with some mates, and that was pretty good.
You're not trying to pull Ricky because you were near him at
I
one
chatted
point.
to him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I chatted to him.
Was that on camera though? Not
off camera. You know what I
did you
did though?
say?
I did something really embarrassing.
What's up, dog?
No, because I sometimes when I film these guys, unless I've seen them since, I always think, do they actually even remember filming me? So kind of like, I was in eye shot of Ricky and he started walking off and I kind of give him the old eyes up
Yeah.
nod. What would you call that one? Like, what up?
An up nod.
What up, dog? And he kind of like looked over and I thought, oh no, he's not going to. And then he actually went, and then he came over. And shook hands, daps and stuff. I've been doing some great daps. Do you call them daps?
Yeah, you get
I've been
the
doing some
contact.
unbelievable ones this week. I think my hand's perfect for it. Honestly, I've been doing some outrageous ones. So I chatted to him, and then he had a head cover, right? I put a head cover on a club, and I was looking at the club. I was thinking that lie angle looks really, really flat on this club, even though it was in the head cover. And I said, "Have you got a new putter in the bag?" And he went, "Oh no!" And he took off the head cover, and it was a wedge in his head cover,
Right.
his putter head cover. I just felt like a bit of an idiot, even though.
Oh, was that? I thought it was going to be some mad club that he had then. There's some new.
No, I just said, is that a new? Because I thought that looks like a really
Right.
weird lie angle, but it was a wedge.
Ah,
So obviously it was a weird lie angle for
that
that
is
anyway.
embarrassing, that.
Yeah, apart
Did he
from
have to
that,
delete the video off the channel off the back of that?
no.
I don't need to associate with you anymore.
I had a good chat with Bryson, and about his YouTube journey at the moment. Because obviously he's not posted much since winning the US Open.
Doesn't need to, does he?
Doesn't need that YouTube money anymore. But no, he's doing really well. Who else did I chat to briefly? Min Woo Lee last night.
Nice.
I've hopefully got him locked in for a new 10-shot challenge.
Brilliant.
Or a 10-shot challenge. Also filmed with, or chatted to the Hogarth brothers
Yep.
and Matty Jordan from Royal Liverpool.
Nice.
So Matty Jordan had a massive year at the Open last year.
And
with
he's
his
obviously
home.
in it again this year, isn't it? I don't know how he qualified. Was it his finish last year got him in? I think it was. I'm sure
Was
he
it?
came top something like 12. Don't quote me. And I'm sure that got him in this year. I'm sure that's how he got in.
Also met up with some other friends. So Incy Mehmet, who's been on the channel, catching up with Iona tonight. Bumped into Finchy. Finchy doing a lot of stuff at the range. It's very interesting live at the range. I think I might be on it again later this week. But it's a lot of spare time. Like you're on it, you're kind of hanging around the driving range, which is cool in its own right. You're up close and personal with players, and every now and again you're like, right, we got 5 minutes with such a body, and suddenly grabbing the mic and running over. Hi, it's like
He's chatting. Yeah.
no, I like it though. It's quite good. It's quite exciting. And then got interviews with Mastercard. So doing interviews with Sam Burns later this afternoon, Victor Hovland, Justin Rose. I'm doing a chat with Mercedes-Benz with Tom Watson, which I always love chatting to Tom Watson. It's a busy week. It's the epicenter of golf this week, and it feels, you've got to. If you're in the golf industry, you've got to be in the town. You've got to be present, and that's why we're also
It
here.
is, and hopefully, like you said, pulling some strings to get some more great videos down the line. But one video we did have that came up this week, obviously, was the break 70, 75, and 80 at Troon with the grandstands up. Me, you, James Robinson. Good video, if I say so myself. You played it very nicely. Won't give any spoilers away in case people haven't watched it just yet. But go onto YouTube, onto Rick's main channel. It's a good video. You see the course, how it'll get played by more mere mortals.
Since Open qualifying, I've become less nervous.
It makes sense.
Because I think to myself, as much as I know I hit 2 terrible shots Open qualifying, which really affects my score, like I hit a lot of really good shots. And that first tee shot that I hit, like I keep remembering that. I've watched it about 100 times on YouTube. And it's like I didn't hit a great first tee shot today, to be fair at press, but I wasn't like worried about it.
You know
I
what?
feel a lot more chilled now.
Yeah, I get that, and I think that's something that you've almost not conquered the fear, because it wasn't a fear in the first place, but if you've gone through those nerves of having all those people watch you and then hit a good shot, even if you hit a bad shot, you've done it, so it's kind of like, well, what's to be nervous for again? And everyone, I suppose, listening to this podcast or watching has been nervous in the golf course. Often we see it, and understandably so, people get nervous when a group lets you through and 4 random guys or girls watch you hit a golf shot. But when you think about it, realistically, there's absolutely no reason for amateur golfers who are playing just for fun getting nervous. I know you can't always help that, but maybe you can control it better, because unless you've got a putt to win the Open or to, pay your mortgage because you're a tour player, what does it matter when it's your hobby? It doesn't make any difference to your life, really, does it? But yeah, we do as golfers let things get so big in our minds, and I think if you can channel that, it will definitely help you save shots.
Yeah, no, even like, and the reason why I brought that up as well, like even at Royal Troon, I started really well, and just like, I feel like a bit more chilled now. I don't feel as worried or pressured.
Well, if you shanked it out of bounds, so what? Hit another one.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I don't do that.
No, but you know what I mean. But what? You're like A3 off the tee. You still go home and everything's the same.
Yeah.
It's not like, if you were literally playing for your living and you were a really struggling DP World Tour player who's probably going to lose a card, and that is literally your job and that is how you pay the bills. You've got children in nursery, you've got bills to pay, then I get it. But like for us, or for people listening who're just playing as a member of a golf club, so what?
So what? Who cares? Nobody cares.
I don't
Right.
care what you shot.
I've got to go and jump over to the Open. Thanks for listening.
Just a little quick plug for this book. We met a member on the golf course, a member here of Prestwick. He was a lovely guy called Kenny, who's written a book, Sevi Ballesteros, Touch of Class. He gave us a copy each, Rick. Not read it yet, obviously. Got given it. It might be rubbish, but I'm sure it's not. He was a lovely bloke. So if you're interested, check it out. I don't know where you can buy it. I'm guessing online. Search for it. Just thought I'd give it a
Just
little
reading
small plug.
back, it's like alongside battles with Tom Watson are tales of other Sevi wins and inspirational moments.
It's meant to be good. The pro here, David, it's a good book. It's a nice actual physical book. You wrote your little message in there as well, Rick.
Has it got a lot of pictures?
It's got a few pictures for you to look at. You can do a bit of colouring in as well. Do a little dot to dot.
Is there a word search?
But the reason I was again, I met the guy briefly for one hole. But I just sometimes think when someone's like done an independent book like that, they obviously put a lot of time and effort and energy into it, and hopefully he's sold a few. I think it's done quite well so far. But you always feel like we're very fortunate. We have these. Well, you've got this big platform to when we do things to shout about. Not everybody does. So if you like Sevi, you like books. If you don't like Sevi, you don't like books, then listen to our podcast.
How can you not like Sevi? I understand not liking books, but you can't not like Sevi. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoy. We will do another episode of the podcast at some point, ready for Clubhouse on Friday. And we'll see you all soon. Peace. Have a good open week, everyone.
Should we try and dap, see if we can get a good sound? I'll put the mic
Jeez.
here. You've said that you do really good daps.
I have ridiculous
right,
at them,
let's
to
try.
be
So
honest.
get the mic in so we get it. Get a bit of room. We're going for a loud one.
Jeez, I feel a bit of pressure now.
Oh, that was crap. Go again. We've got to get... There we go. It took 3.
Very good.
No, we did the third was best. Oh, third was best. No, last one. No, flipping neck. Not bad. Third was the best one. Third was the best one. There's people outside. Imagine they looked in watching that.
The worst thing would be, imagine you're listening to the end of this podcast on loudspeaker.
Oh my God.
And your wife walks in, or your husband, and all you're hearing is almost. No, the third one was there. Guys,
We've done it.
we're apparently number 1 podcast in the world. I'm not sure how, but this is how we do it. Right, guys, thanks for listening. See you all soon.